Honorable Speaker.
Honorable nominated member. Yes, is it on the same issue?
No. Yes, in fact, Honorable Speaker, we have a settled practice when it comes to writing the report. And this has been the norm. Anytime you seconded a motion and participate in the debate, you are captured. Automatically, you are the first person. But if we should change this now, going forward, the mode of writing is going to be, so you are going to write the name twice. But already you seconded the motion and participated in the debate. So why are you going to put it again? So, and that has been a settled practice.
I think that those are the two sides of the coin. But settled practices can be amended if you think there is a better way. There is no difference. What you have been doing over the years, if there are innovations to make it better, there is nothing bad about that. All what the honorable member for Sami said, even if you look at the numbering, if you look at those who participated, naturally you would think that it's only that number who participated, unless you go back to read the rest. So what makes the difference if you include him as those who participated? So I think we can just settle for that. If that had been the practice, they would note that down. So that when you look at the number, you know that these are the actual members, unless somebody seconds the motion without participation. And there will be this agreement in seconding the motion, you have not participated? No, just seconding the motion is a participation. Yes. Anyway, honorable members, it's your choice, it's your record of votes and proceedings.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, I did note 2 omissions on the vote of proceedings. The first one is on page 4. If you look at order 61-2, before stating that Honorable Elijah S. Dabo, member for Birkama North, moved a motion for the Assembly to allot 3 minutes. The initial motion that was moved by myself to consolidate the time provisions for the debate on all the 3 motions to be limited to 1 hour, which is omitted on page 4.
This is on page 4?
Yes, on page 4.
That's motions to impose the time limit.
Yes. The first one was 1 hour 30 minutes. And the second one would be on page 7.
Let's clear this one. Honorable, you are saying that your own
motion
that you moved was not included.
If you can recall, on the order paper, each of the motions was allocated time of 1 hour 30 minutes. When we decided to consolidate them, I moved a motion that we can consolidate the times also and make it limit to 1 hour 30 minutes, which was equally seconded by the honorable member for Nyani.
I think I remember that, and I think table of it is also confirming. So that will be captured.
And on page 7 equally. Page 7.
Where on page 7?
On order 61-2.
Pardon?
Order 61-2.
Order 61-2.
Yes.
Why don't you quote the heading? Motion to impose.
Motion to impose time limits. Again, before the motion to allot 3 minutes as the limited time for each member to participate on the debate, I rose and then moved a motion again to consolidate all the times to 1 hour. That motion was also equally seconded, but it was omitted from the vote of proceedings as well. Thank you. Record of proceedings, sir.
Table office will make the necessary amendments. Thank you, honorable nominated member. Any more? Honorable member for Lower Sal.
Honorable Speaker, I just observe a little proceedings here. Page 7. After Tuesday, 25th June 2022, there was a communications. The Honorable Siri S.K. Deputy Speaker, took the chair.
On page 7, where on page 7?
Yes, on top.
Pardon?
On top. Yes. The first page, my brother. Yes.
I think I have CD SK guy.
Yes. What I'm trying to say here is any person who assumed in that seat is a speaker. So why this communication now? Honorable CD Eskenja, Deputy Speaker.
Saying Honorable CD SK, his title is Deputy Speaker, took the chair. Honorable Alaji S. Dabo, Minority Leader, took the chair.
Noted.
Noted. Members, it has been moved and seconded that the record of votes and proceedings of the National Assembly sitting of Tuesday, 25th June 2024 be adopted with amendments. Those in favor, please say aye. Those not in favor, please say no. The ayes have it.
Correction and approval of records of votes and proceedings of the National Assembly sitting of Thursday, 27 June 2024.
Honorable members, the record of votes and proceedings of the National Assembly sitting of Thursday, 27 June 2024 is before us for consideration and adoption. Can any honorable member please move that the said record of votes and proceedings be considered and adopted? Any honorable member? Honorable member for Sami.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. I move that the said record of votes of the proceedings of the National Assembly sitting Thursday, 27th June 2024 be adopted. Thank you.
Thank you, Honorable Member for Sani Mentoring. Any seconder? Honorable Member for Upper Fulladu.
Yes, Honorable Speaker, I rise to second the motion.
Honorable members, thank you very much, Honorable Member for Upper Fulladu. It has been moved and seconded that the record of votes and proceedings of the National Assembly sitting of Thursday, 27 June 2024 be considered and adopted. Honorable members, we have copies of the said record of votes and proceedings, and as usual, we look through it page by page, beginning with page 1. Pardon? Lower Salon.
No, I was on page 3 before you.
Honorable members, page 2. Honorable members, we move to page 3. Honorable member for Lower Salon, you can now take the floor.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, I wanted to ask from your office whether number 57, Honorable Yahya Jammeh took permission from your office, because I have learned the former SoNA, he stepped out, and again, this SoNA, it's better he take a permission from your office.
Yeah.
Yahya Jammeh,
Lamin?
Yahya Jammeh.
Honorable Speaker, can you please attach some respect to my name, please? Don't just be foolish here, please. Just attach some respect to my name. So useless.
Don't do that. Don't misbehave. No, you don't behave.
No, he abuse me.
Honorable.
What is your ambassador?
Honorable member, when somebody does something wrong, you don't shout. You don't do anything. You don't use violence. You don't insult. There are ways of ensuring corrections. Please. I don't even understand what he's saying. Honorable member for Lower Salem, what did you say? You said,
I am now telling you of whether Yahya, Honorable number 57, Honorable Yahya Sanyang, Latrikunda Sabiji.
Don't mention the name, just say the honorable member for Latrikunda Sabiji.
No. The name here is Honorable Yahya Sanyang, Latrikunda Sabiji. That was captured here. Yes. No. What is wrong of saying his name? His name is there. My brother.
All right, okay, what you are talking about members who were absent with permission. And you are now inquiring whether number 57, Honorable Yahya Sanyang of Latrikunda Sabiji, he was permitted to be absent. Yes, that's a difficult question. Why? Because at the time on the 27th, I view Honorable Member for Latrikunda Sabiji as absent without permission. But what I realized was that when I looked at my mobile, on Wednesday, 26th of June, he sent me an audio claiming that he is supposed to sit to an exams and is seeking permission. In that light, I will have him as somebody who had been permitted not to be here at the time. I used to accord that to most members. They will just call somebody or even send me a listing or a letter, even without acknowledgement, and that they will assume that they are out with permission. So in the same vein, I hold that Honorable Yahya Sanyang, member for Latrikunda Sabiji, was absent with permission. Equally, that most of these functions for state opening, Honorable Sanyang, usually you are absent.
Speaker.
I am not entertaining a debate on this. All what I want us to have on record to clear your doubts, this is what had happened. I am not entertaining debates on this. Please. I don't want to open the floodgate for debate.
No, but this is not debate. I pointed out this thing.
Honorable member, you pointed it out, right? I answered your question, and unless you're telling me you can change my decision, my decision is final. So I will not encourage a debate. Because when you encourage a debate, everybody will want to say it differently. And it will not inform us any better. Different issues. Then honorable member for all you.
Still on the records of votes, Honorable Speaker, under motion. I don't think there is anything.
On which page? On page 3?
Page 3, yes.
Okay, go ahead.
That paragraph that says His Excellency the President of the Republic, comma. I wanted us to complete the sentence. He is the Excellency of the Republic of the Gambia. So I think of the Gambia should be added, and not to stop at Republic with comma.
And the Republic should be capital D, am I right? The Republic should be capital D. The Republic. Honorable member, Republic of the Gambia. Any more Banjul North? No, you have to move. It has to be on record. What you are saying must be recorded.
Speaker. Honorable Speaker, I just want to bring to your notice that our mics are not working, so we cannot participate.
Yeah. Let's get that clear. Honorable members, it has been reported to me that we have technical problems with microphones at the back. So what probably we can do, if you are at the back and you want to participate, you move somewhere where the microphone is working. They are working on it. Honorable member for Fonyi Bintang, is it Bintang? Yes?
This technical problem is becoming a tradition here. So, and we should remedy it once and for all.
Even if you remedy it with the best experts, it can become a problem again. This is machine work. You have your own brand, you start, it doesn't work. These machines, you can't, nobody wants it to happen that way. I hope you have a solution. If you have a solution, you can help us so that we will do that, so that it doesn't break down again. Honorable member for Sami mentoring.
Yes, thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, come back to number 3, as alluded by the Honorable Member for Olyundum, which reads on His Excellency the President of the Republic. I think it wouldn't be necessary to add the Republic of the Gambia again, because looking at on top of the document itself, it reads Republic of the Gambia. So it's already indicated that it's this is the President of the Republic of the Gambia. So I don't think it will be necessary by adding Republic of the Gambia again. That's my take.
But we have already amended it, and it is agreed that it makes no difference. It makes it clear. Huh? The President of the Republic is incomplete, even in a sentence. Honorable members, any more on page 3? Any other comments that probably one wants us to go back? Pardon? Yes? Who is saying yes? Sabach Sanjal. You are the one saying yes? Yes, go ahead.
Yes, Honorable Speaker, if I heard you well, you said if there is any other comment that we might want to go back. We have approved the Code of Conduct of the National Assembly last week.
Honorable member, are you commenting on the minutes, on record of votes, or you are bringing something else?
No, it's a different thing. Not
on the minutes.
Not on the minutes.
No, we are not dealing with any other thing besides the minutes.
But I wanted to bring to your attention.
No, Honorable, you will say it at a better time. Or either when we complete, you raise, and then. But now we are dealing with the minutes. We have not adopted the minutes. We cannot go to any other thing yet.
I'd like to have your permission.
Okay. Honorable members, it has been moved and seconded that the record of votes and proceedings of the National Assembly sitting of Thursday, 27 July 2024 be adopted with amendments. Those in favor, please say aye. Those not in favor, please say no. The ayes have it. Sorry, Honorable Clerk, before you proceed, Honorable Member for Sabach Sanjal, may I hear you now?
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker, for giving me the floor. Last week, Monday, we've approved the Code of Conduct for National Assembly of the Gambia. And it has set out some rules and regulations. And one of the rules is on absence. And it is a member must write to the Speaker or Deputy Speaker, copied to the Office of the Clerk to request for prior permission for absence. Now, we have a situation wherein a member has been accused of absence, and you've made a statement that the member has sent you an audio. If that is sufficient enough for us to be taking permission, please let's establish that fact here. Because I don't want us to set precedents wherein members will be staying at home and decide to send you a message on WhatsApp or write to you on WhatsApp. If that is enough, I think we should include it, or we should move a motion to go back to our rules and then change it. Otherwise, I think what needs to be done here must be done. Because if I decide to stay home and send you an audio, if that is sufficient enough for taking permission, it should be set out in the rules of the National Assembly. I submit.
Thank you very much. Whilst we look at the necessary relevant sections, let me make a few remarks. You know, the prerogative of giving permission to members as and when necessary is the Speaker's responsibility and duties. Now, by our own standing orders and by practice, members have even only called the table office to get permission. Now, if that is the code of conduct, it will, honorable members, if we go strictly by that, it will almost be impossible for members not to be absent. Because when you write to the office of the Speaker, you must be granted permission. You can write and the Speaker denies you permission. Writing does not automatically give you permission to go. You write and it's responded. You request for permission and it's granted. So until that permission is granted, it means you are not permitted. Two, you can be sick and you move out, you need to write, and then you send it to the speaker. By the time it reaches the speaker, it may be the following day when you were absent. So you have to put all these things into perspective. So my conscience, myself, I was not happy to see people absent from Parliament, more so from the state opening. It's never a pleasant thing for me. But at the day itself, I looked around and I saw that the honorable member for Latrikunda Sabach was absent. I was mindful of it. But as I said earlier, the day before, he has sent me a note. I don't know whether it was a write-up or a voicemail. I saw it. And I said, okay, I will grant him as usual. Because more so, he's talking about sitting to an exam. I think there was a tag up. Honorable member for Lower Salem.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. I also want to connect my dots to member for Sabach Sanjal. Honorable Speaker, you have to make your rulings on this case. But then, if the same member also making a write-up on the social media that I am absent based on issues, and again, the same member again give you a permission that he's going for an exam, to contract, and the same person make a write-up. Honorable Speaker, and honorable member have
Honorable Speaker.
Honorable Speaker, you cannot be absent on sitting, you know.
Member for Latrikunda Sabach.
Can I allow this
Honorable member for Latrikunda,
this time.
Honorable member for Latrikunda Sabach. Please, don't disturb the order of the sessions. Please. Honorable members have a right to express themselves. At the end, you have a right to come and take the floor. Please, don't interrupt. Honorable Member for Lower
Honorable
Side.
Speaker, what do we expect from you as a presiding officer? You have done it right. Because if a member took a permission that I am going for a so-so thing for an examination, you have right to give a permission to a member. But if the same member again going, second the gallery, showing people I'm not going for this SoNA, because we have seen the last SoNA, he might out. And it's the same person again, making a write-up that this useless SoNA. You understand? I don't think, Honorable Speaker, we should go with this. Because any member of this parliament, you have to be very sincere on your work. You can't be getting cheap popularity from the gallery or the social media or the citizens. I raise my case. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Yes, before I respond.
Thank you for giving me the floor, Honorable Speaker. I want the Honorable Member to give us evidence where I wrote this useless SoNA. I want him to prove that evidence. Where I wrote is a useless SoNA. I'm very responsible. I'm not just irresponsible like the Honorable Member. I know why I'm here, and I know why I'm here, and I will keep knowing why I'm here, day in, day out. Please, thank you very much.
Honorable members, it is not befitting of any honorable member to write in anywhere, over radio, social media, or anything, to indicate also that you are not attending SoNA, whatever reasons, except for genuine causes. The people are listening, and the people are aware. If that had happened, that the honorable member for Latrikunda had declared that he was not going to attend SoNA, not because of his exams, but for something else, that would be illegal. It's not correct. But unfortunately or fortunately, the honorable member notified me, and the reasons adduced were that he was sitting to an exam. And in fact, there was a period during the course of this session or something was happening. The same honorable member called my attention that he was not attending because he was going to sit to an exam. He's doing something to do an exam. So if he comes to tell me that he's sitting to an exam, I will genuinely believe that he was going to sit to an exam. As I said, myself, I was concerned. In fact, I had promised that when I come on the following, that's this Monday, I was going to challenge him why he is refusing to come to SoNA sessions. Fortunately for him, I saw in my mobile that he has sent me information, earlier information, to say that he was not attending because of A, B, or C. So, honorable members, I think we can draw a line. And the constitutional provisions for permissions to be granted by the Speaker is that the Speaker, let me read it for you, because this is as per the Constitution, not the standing orders. Section 91G. It says, a member of the National Assembly shall vacate his or her seat in the National Assembly. That portion, this clause, refers to continuous absence that can lead to a member's expulsion from Parliament. And it talks about if without the permission in writing of the Speaker or reasonable cause, he or she is absent from the sittings for at least 10 consecutive times. Meaning, it is not the day-to-day absence from sessions. It means a continuous absence from coming to the assembly. That one, you are not going to say, I call the speaker that I cannot come for 10 consecutive times. That one must be in writing to the speaker. And of course, when you write, permission is either granted or rejected. Or in the event that you cannot write, it is with reasonable cause. So, honorable members, it is my desire that every member attends all sessions at all times. But I'm also equally aware that circumstances, you may have circumstances where you may not be able to come to Parliament. And I don't think it will be fair for me to put members on record as absent when they could be given permission to exercise those functions. In this particular issue, I am sure the honorable member for Latrikunda Sabegi will note it, that is a concern and it has been observed. Hopefully, it may be coincidence, it may be deliberate, but time will tell. So, honorable members, can we proceed? Honorable nominated member, Keba Lamfofana.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. I will start by apologizing because I wouldn't like to open the door after you've made a ruling. But, Honorable Speaker, Section 112 of the Constitution is clear. It states that all members shall maintain the dignity of the National Assembly, both during the sitting of the National Assembly and in their acts and activities outside the National Assembly. The bone of contention here is with regards to the sincerity of labeling the member as absent with permission when members believe that they have evidence that speaks otherwise. And as Olarotimi once said, when the woodcutter carved sticks on its own head, it carries them. The situation is created by the honorable member himself. He deliberately walked out during a session of the SoNA last year. And if this year also evidence came out suggesting that even though he might have asked for permission, but that's in other ways, using formalities to legalize an action which was what? Illegal. So, Honorable Speaker, what we are simply saying is, if the honorable member is brave enough not to come to the SoNA, he should be brave enough also to see his name labeled as absent without permission, and not to use the legal means. This is all we are asking for, nothing otherwise. Thank you.
You know, Honorable, yourself, your contribution, I think, has just rightly concluded the whole issue. Now, if he, for instance, his intention was not to attend SoNA, but whatever reasons, he gave reasons that he cannot come to SoNA because of those genuine reasons. That is for people to now determine and for himself. But some of you may be telling me I am bereaved, when probably you have a political function. How would I know? It can only be assumption. It's what you tell me that if I believe it is what I act on. If I were to be absent for a particular reason, I will be bold enough to say that I am absent because of that reason. If I choose to say something else which will exonerate me, and then you are exonerated, that's also fair enough. Now that is now between you and your conscience. So please, I want us to put this and let it be a learning lesson for all of us. I think we have given this issue enough time. Let it be a learning lesson for all of us. Let's try to demonstrate and uphold the trust bestowed in us, and as much as possible, try to attend sessions. As we speak, there are some members who are not in session. I am putting an end to this debate, please. I have ruled on it, and then we move forward, please. Clerk, can we proceed?
Motion. Debate on the State of the Nation Address 2024 by His Excellency the Vice President.
Honorable members, as we are about to commence the debate on the State of the Nation Address, I would like to thank all honorable members of the National Assembly for your support and collaboration in making the State of the Nation Address 2024 a great success. Honorable members, I equally want to remind honorable members that the President has outlined in his address the government's policies, programs, and state of his administration for our consideration and scrutiny. Notwithstanding, he has entreated us to continue to work together in the best interest of our nation, our peace, and stability amidst difficult security and socio-economic challenges we face as a country. Therefore, honorable members, I reiterate that we must nurture our young democracy for a peaceful and prosperous Gambia. And in doing so, I kindly urge honorable members to reflect and debate on the address with diligence. Honorable members, may I request that any honorable member who wishes to take part in the debate raise his or her tag, consequency tag, to be recorded and will be given the floor. However, before giving any honorable member the floor, may we remind ourselves to respect the rules of the debate as enshrined under clause 29(1) of the standing orders, which reads, every member shall restrict his or her observations to the subject under discussion. Furthermore, clause 31(1) also reads, debates upon any motion or amendment to a motion or upon any bill, part of a bill or amendment to a bill, shall be relevant thereto, except in the case of a motion for the adjournment of the Assembly. Honorable members, I now therefore call on all honorable members to respect and observe the rules as indicated. I thank you all once again.
Honorable Speaker.
Somebody is talking. Honorable member for Lower Salem, you say something?
Yes, thank you, Honorable Speaker, for giving me the floor. Earlier on Monday, 24th of June 2024, you make a ruling. And on our agenda here is agenda 4, motions. Debate on the State of Nation Address 2024 by His Excellency President Adamabaro. And I also refer myself on your ruling. Motion without notice, at the invitation of the Honorable Speaker, Honorable Amadou Kama, the member for Nyanija, moved a motion for the Assembly to approve the various time limits indicated in the agenda of the second ordinary session 2024. And again, the ruling was motion and reports, and this is a motion. So I want it to be very clear on the ruling that you have made on the time limit. On the agenda of the second ordinary session,
They want to, unless if they want to give now.
Honorable members, honorable members, honorable member for Lower Salem, I've heard your observations. I'm just making consultations to confirm what honorable member for Jadija stated in his motion. And I have been reliably informed that that motion was specific to the agenda presented on that day, the times on that day. It does not go beyond that time. All motions on the agenda were timed, and it was a problem. And then the honorable member moved that the times allotted for these motions in the agenda be approved.
Honorable Speaker, can I come in? Honorable Speaker, you know, in my submission.
Raise your tag.
Yes, Lower Salem.
Yes.
Honorable Speaker, on my submission on that day, and before we voted in, you know, in fact, I make a reference on the FGM bill. You understand? But then, if you read, motion without notice, in the invitation of the Honorable Speaker, Honorable Amadou Kama, the member for Nyanija, moved a motion for the member assembly to approve the various time limits indicating in the agenda of the second ordinary session. On the second ordinary session means the agenda that we approved, the whole agenda that was designed by the ABC, that was approved.
Is what time was allotted to SoNA that you think had been approved?
No, because
there was no time allocation.
Yeah, because you know, in our agenda is all motions and reports on our agenda. Now, the agenda
I understand you. If you look at the agenda, ABC allotted times for various motions. What I'm saying is what time was allotted that was approved for SoNA?
Yeah, Honorable Speaker, there no motion was given a particular time limit. Here, you said all reports and motions. Because this is why I make a reference on the FGM. You understand? Honorable Speaker.
But let's not confuse each other. Have you got the agenda for this session? Now, if you look at the agenda for motions, some of the motions, you have time limits them. You have seen them. So motions that were given time, were approved through Honorable Member for Nyanija's motion, that those times be kept. It does not follow that it's going to be all one, even those not time. It's those which were time and indicated. If honorable members want to indicate times for SoNA, you still have the right to move a motion. And then we will go by the time. Yes, honorable member.
That very day, wait, also, this was that you approved.
Honorable members, please, I told you, I will frown on somebody who will interrupt people. When you talk, you don't want people to interrupt you. Why should you interrupt others? Please allow him to say what he wants to say. Yes, honorable member.
Honorable Speaker, after the vote that is taken, the motion was carried various time limits imposed in the agenda was approved. Here, this second ordinary session, we have an agenda. From social date to 2024, this is our agenda. That was approved by the ABC. And in the same ABC members again came and moved a motion that we make a time limit of each report and motions. And again, this SoNA is a motion. And the very day that we are...
Honorable, you are not, we are listening to you, but you don't seem to be listening to us.
Okay, did not give me the floor.
What the motion moved was to agree to the time limit stated in the agenda. If you look, let's look at it. Let me just read, let's look at it. If you look at Monday the 24th, have you seen it? Monday the 24th of June, you go to the motion area, that's on the second page. The first motion is for this assembly to consider and ratify the mutual visa exemption agreement for diplomatic and service passports. The time limit is there, 1 hour. You see it there. For the next one, visa exemption for diplomatic passports between us and Azerbaijan, 1 hour. You go to the next one, consider and approve the code of conduct for National Assembly members, 1 hour, 30 minutes. You see that? This is what has been approved. So where a motion does not have a time limit, it's not included. Motion. It's motions with times that are on the agenda. Motion. So if there is one particular motion, for instance, that is more time, it does not apply to that. But nonetheless, if honorable members want to put a time frame, you have all rights to do it. Motion. Who is saying motion?
Member Sabach Sanjal.
Yeah, Sabach, you want to interrupt the speaker now?
No. With due respect,
huh?
never. I will never
Please,
do that. Yes.
Please. So, honorable member for Lower Salem, get that very clear. The approved motion was on the times allocated for the various motions on the agenda. So now, if honorable members want to allocate time to other motions that don't have time limits, you are free to do so.
Yes.
Yes, honorable member for Sabach Sanjal.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker, for giving me the floor. I'm rising on motion 53K, a motion agreed by the Speaker to be a matter of urgency. I'm moving a motion for the time on debate to be limited to 10 minutes.
Be specific, 10 minutes for the whole time or 10 minutes for each member?
10 minutes to be allotted for each member.
Honorable members, the motion is that for debate on the SoNA motion, it be limited to 10 minutes for each honorable member, maximum. Any seconder?
Yes.
Honorable member for Nyani. Now put it to a vote.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. I rise to second the motion.
Honorable member, it's been moved and seconded. I will now put it to a vote. It has been moved and seconded that a maximum of 10 minutes be allocated to each member on the SoNA debate. Those in favor, please say aye. Those in favor, please say aye. Those not in favor, please say no. The ayes have it. Division. Now we will count. So, honorable members, if you are in favor of the motion that is to limit the time to 10 minutes, please raise your tags. Limiting the time to 10 minutes. You got it. Honorable members, those against the motion, the noes, please raise your tags. Honorable members, those abstentions. You got it? Honorable members, the results. Those in favor, 26. Those against, 8. Abstention, 2. So the ayes have it. So the time will be limited to 10 minutes per member, maximum.
Honorable Speaker, before going further.
Salim, you are saying something? Yes?
Honorable Speaker, there is a communication that was from the table office. A communication from the table office. If you allow me, may I read? About this time allocation, time limit.
No, that has no bearing. There is no bearing. Table office, whatever they might have communicated, has been overruled by the plenary.
No, I want to.
What relevance does it have now?
No,
honorable member, the communication from table office to us now will have no relevance. It's not table office who will dictate to Parliament what to be done. Parliament has decided that they are looking at the motion and that they are giving 10 minutes. Any other communication is invalid.
I am still stand on the process that was done in 24th June.
Still stand
on the procedures that was done here.
Honorable, you see all the other procedures that we might have implanted. You see, even our own standing orders. Plenary can determine and say, put this standing order aside, we deal with this thing this way. And we will go by it. Decisions have been made through a motion. Any other thing subsequent to that is out. Yes, so we don't need to be labor on those things.
No. Honorable Speaker, you know, you've been the presiding officer. Now it lies on us now to suspend a particular standing order. But on the proceedings here, which I'm trying to put across, you know, to back my argument.
I will not let you put that back across.
Okay.
Unless you listen to me, you will get the picture. Whatever communications you want to read has been taken by events. It's unfortunate. It would have been relevant probably before the motion, and we listen to it, and that may inform members better. But now that members have taken a decision on the way forward, we don't go back because we cannot rescind that by that communication from table office. So it has no bearing, please. All right. Honorable nominated member, Keba.
Honorable Speaker, I just want to set the record straight. I think you are in order. If we look at page 7 of the minutes, the last sentence, it states that the motion was carried, the various time limits imposed in the agenda was approved. And for the purpose of clarity, after consolidating all the motions, I would normally rise up to consolidate the time on those particular motions to 1 hour, 30 minutes, or 1 hour, and members, based on the specific agenda on the table, will agree to impose the 3 minutes time limit again. I'm just saying this to indicate that the ruling that was made by the Speaker was not on general basis, but it was specific to the motions, and based on what? The discretion of the members. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Even not more than that, even what he quoted, even what he read, the Honorable Member for Lower Salem read, it specifically talked about the times allotted to honorable members. Have you got your list? Including on this debate, honorable members, honorable members, I now invite the honorable member for Combo South to take the floor.
Right. Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker, and thanks for the Vice President and members of the Parliament. May I convey to you sincere greetings from the Holy Mosque of Saudi Arabia, where you went to perform the Hajj. And I think it's very important for us to also try to be attendants. Thank you very much for coming. Honorable Speaker, I think this is a fairly important issue. And there are issues that need to be dealt with. When it comes to the issue of agriculture, and I think the Minister of Agriculture is not around, and whether there are other committee members who will put out some papers to adjournment, data so that he can be informed about what happened in this country, because it's very important. Honorable Speaker, I'm speaking to you whether the Minister of Agriculture is here or the Permanent Secretary.
Honorable Member, I'm made to understand the Honorable Minister of Agriculture is not here, but it's the President's speech and the Vice President who represents the President in Parliament is around.
Okay. Okay. So let's proceed. Honorable Speaker, I think the issue of agriculture has been very important, and there is a way in this particular speech to be taken on. Honorable Speaker, I want to know when it comes to the issue of land that is going to be cultivated by swampy lands or other irrigated lands, whether they are going to be implicated to ensure that the people have the best out of the thing, especially the people of Nyanija, Combo East, and also part of Upper Fulladu, whether these things are going to be imported in helping the people to understand and be able to give out a base expenditure for them to be able to work on this. Because when this is allotted, we need to be able to understand what do we need to do these things to be able to get this further. So I think the Honorable Vice President should be able to give us the hectares who are going to be cultivated in those areas so that the people can take care of these things. And I think it is very important. Honorable Speaker, the meeting of fisheries and water resources, and I think it's very important also for us to be able to understand what are some of the things that are going to be done in those areas. And I think especially in the area of Combo South and also in Combo North, that's Brufut, where they have these fishing areas. What are they going to be done to help those people, to help the people to engage in the community serving and also improve their livelihoods to ensure that this particular endeavor is done with them. And I think that's also very important. On the issue of transport, works, and infrastructure, we have looked at the community or communities that are involved in this issue. And I think the whole idea is, what do we do to help those people to get part of the landlocked countries or the areas that they need to help at, especially when we look at the area of Combo North or Combo South, and also in the area where you have linking roads to be able to understand these things. How do we do them to help them to be able to understand and be able to participate in fully in using the communities so that the people are also informed to be part of the community and also inform it better. Honorable Minister, when it comes to the issue of tourism development, and I think it's a very issue where you have a lot of communities that are working in the area of agricultural products or part of the excursions for them to be part of the thing. So what kind of thing that you have to do to help those people to be involved in fully participating in these things and help them to better understand the lives of communityhood and also the importance of these things. Honorable Speaker, we talked about the issue of communication. When the issue of communication is being dealt with, we want to know what are some of the, franchise, or what are some of the issues that are going to be responsible to help these community initiators, to help them in a way, to be able to understand, especially when it comes to the issue of, franchise like the computer and all other kinds of things that they need to do so that the communication system will be very good and in helping them to be able to understand what are some of the issues that are going to be held. Honorable Minister, climate change and also important issues. And I think these are very important issues that need to be well communicated. And I think when we talk about these things, we need to be able to understand how do we put climate change into these areas so that the people of these communities are very well informed and also involved in the communities that they are going to be doing to help them better and also understand what the executive of the officer is doing. Honorable Speaker, I think the issue of population and social protection, which are very important, and I think it is very important for us to be able to understand how do we deal with those people to be able to understand, especially when it comes to the people in the communities, to be able to understand what some of the things that they need to do and areas that are going to be done to help them better understand the realities of life and also the communities that are going to be helped in the community. Honorable Speaker, further to the lands and regional communication, or the lands, regional government and regulations, I think it is very, very important that we did a study or maybe so they are going to help in demarcating the areas of land that are embedded within the Combo South region and also Brufut area and also other parts of this region to enable them to understand what some of these things are going to be done. Because especially when it comes to land allocation in Gunjur, you have the community of land which is being sold to the people of the Gambia education and also the other areas. How people are going to be settled in those areas, it is very, very important. So I think it is very important that we need to do a very land survey and also improve the quality of life of these people so that their education and their livelihood can also be important. Honorable Speaker, finally, communication and digital economy. I think this is very important. We need to be able to understand how some of these things are going to be done and what are they going to be done and what are they going to be done to enable them to uphold these issues of life into these communities. And I think that's very important. So what we need to do is for us to have a very system that will help them to be able to do these things and help them to.
Thank you very much, Honorable Member for Combo South. You've timed yourself well. Honorable members, please allow me to acknowledge the presence of His Excellency the Vice President, And some other cabinet, assisted by some other cabinet ministers. You have the public service, minister is around, the minister for digital economy, petroleum and energy, minister for information, and of course, honorable minister for the environment. They are around to assist the vice president. You are most welcome. I now invite the honorable member for Lower Fulladu West.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker, for giving me the floor. First, I thank His Excellency President Adama Barrow for fulfilling his constitutional mandate in addressing the nation. On that fateful day, it clearly manifests the true Democrat he is, adhering to the constitutional provision. I thank him and thank his government. And the report was led in such a format that members can easily understand and by extension the country. It was factored on the productive sector and social sector. And then in the report, it clearly tells us the government policy, foreign policy, that have rebranded this country to its highest level. As we speak today, our relationship with the international bodies, partners is so strong, all because of commitment. And I thank the President for that commitment and his government. And coming to agriculture, I thank the Minister of Agriculture and the President. Currently, coming from the food basket of this country, that is the Jakali Pacha, we were given seeds that the President talked about, and I'm here to attest that. Our farrows were shielded. We were given subsidies of fertilizer. Farm inputs were there. As we talk today, the post-loss harvests have been minimized in the Jakali Pacha. Notwithstanding, we also have little concern on his speech regarding this. Land development is a key factor. The farmers and cattle rearers are fighting in the Jakali Pacha area. There is no grazing point for animals. And then because the fire, the bushfire, the birds have all migrated to Jakali Pacha, plus the animal, they are all competing in the rice field. That makes life very difficult. And we expect the Minister of Agriculture to come up, or His Excellency to look at that factor, because this was a factor that I've said over and over. What can we do for those animal rearers? In his speech, unfortunately, it will not, and I will continue to challenge his government to ensure that, they create a grazing point for those animals. And we talked about agriculture, rice production. We cannot produce rice to the way we want it if the land is not developed. And the way the land development is going there is very slow. We want His Excellency and the Minister of Agriculture to fast-track this process so that we can have enough rice for this country. For fisheries, we thank His Excellency, first time in the history of this country since 1965. The rural Gambia, over 90% are now drinking safe, clean drinking water, not from the normal well dealing. So this was really positive. And if you go to the provincial Gambia, just to ascend that, the State of the Nation address really reflect the true picture of what's happening in the area of safe and clean drinking water. Notwithstanding, in the issue of fish landing also, we can see a lot of development in the area of fish landing. And then the youths are ready, as he have a program getting in boards to make sure that youths get the opportunity to adventure in that space. So I thank him for that, and we are really optimistic and happy. Petroleum and energy. Our concern is the water division. It has been said in the other sum, and it's said again, we are trying to ensure that the Minister of Petroleum and Energy fast-track this process. If they have fast-tracked and divide the electric component and the water component, these are things that should be real by now. There is no time to delay some of these things. They were here, 2022, it was said, and it is said, but we are not seeing the action from the Ministry of Energy. And I'm urging the Minister of Energy to ensure that this is expedited. That's what the Gambians need, and the President is committed in addressing what the Gambians need. On land, regional, and government, for the first time in the history of this country, that we are doing a land mapping. This administration is really adhering to the need and the aspiration of this country. I think we need to applaud the government and its ministers for doing extremely well in trying to save this country in the way that people expect from them. And that is the reason why we said the ministry had it planned for the first time in the history of this country to have land mapping. Yes, for the first time, the ministry had a plan to map out. And those are the only way forward, because we understand that we're going to face challenge on land regarding all the disputes that involve land. There have not have been a comprehensive plan. And now the executive and the minister is very much committed to ensure that we have a well mapped out for lands that have been segregated for agricultural purposes and other industrial purposes. I think the ministry is doing very well, and they are commended for that, and the reality is seen. In corruption, I think His Excellency has said its plans to handle corruption. That's as a result, we also enacted the anti-corruption bill. But I'm urging the executive to expedite this as soon as possible. We need to address this corruption that is happening in this country. As a result, this refers me to digital economy. I'm interested, and I would urge all the National Assembly members to be interested in a business that involves SIPCA. SIPCA is a business, it's an institute that has been rated as #1 corrupt company in this world. I've read an article in Ghana, and I don't expect that this country will ally itself to any company that is named as a corrupt company. And if the government is doing that, I'm taxing the Minister of Digital Economy, seated here, and I'm taxing the Vice President and also the Minister of Justice. That company was rated as a corrupt company. As a corrupt company, we are fighting corruption. We see no reason that we can have a business with a corrupt company. And we will follow the business, and I want the Assembly to really look into that business. That is a business that we have to look at. We cannot just sign agreement or business with people that are already rated in the world as criminal. I look at an article in Ghana. It really clears out that SIPCA have no space, and whosoever advising the president on that must come to this parliament and explain to us. And I'm writing a parliamentary question on that matter. I'm so concerned about that business. We have to be serious as a nation, and we must be committed to combat corruption from the land. And those are practical things that we have to do. Information. I'm really happy, and all countries know that the information sector have improved. We are making sure that the ministry is coming with robust plans to ensure that people are accountable the kind of information that are given, and the credibility. And not only that, but to ensure that journalists are trained, given the training capacity that need, so that they can be more professional, ethical, and giving out the best that they can give. That will not have bring anything in this country. So I'm very happy that the minister is moving on that direction, and you can see the information system has started saving, because they are ready to learn, and they are ready to give people credible information with no biased information. And these are manifests of how government is being open to ensure that access to information, especially information that is very credible, very positive. The public sector, the public service. I think the minister is here. With due respect, the country wants to hear increment of salary. The country wants to hear the increment of services. And then unfortunately, in this speech, I never hear about salary increment. And the country is crying. They need salary increment. They need salary increment, the civil sector. So we expect that the ministry will work as soon as possible to ensure that salary is being increased. We had a concern. People are crying. It needs to be restructured. The salaries need to be restructured, and that is for real. some people, they're really suffering out of this, the current situation. And the president talked about security. You cannot do anything if you are not secure. And then we can see the layers of security reform that we are informed in this thing. And these are two manifests that the president's commitment in ensuring that we have a secured nation. And then we are ready and committed to ensure that anything that is related to security reform, we will support the president to ensure that we have a well-informed and secured country.
Thank you very much, Honorable Member for Lower Fulladu West. I now invite the Honorable Member for Nyani.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker, for giving me the floor. Honorable Speaker, first of all, I would like to recognize the presence of the Vice President and also the Cabinet Ministers here present. Honorable Speaker, on behalf of the people of Nyani, we would like to sincerely thank and appreciate the efforts of His Excellency for fulfilling his constitutional mandate in accordance with Section 77(1) of the 1997 Constitution to provide an update on his administration performance during the 2023 calendar year with focus on governance, policies, programs, legislation frameworks, and plans for the future. Honorable Speaker, as far as the rainy season is alarming, it's not very far. I would like to send most of the points that I'll be debating on agriculture. Honorable Speaker, if you look at the State of the Nation's address, page 9, number 4, in the 2023-2024 season, the government allocated $1.5 billion for purchase of groundnut, acquiring about 36,659 metric tons. Honorable Speaker, if you look at the price of groundnuts, in which on behalf of the farmers, we should sincerely appreciate the efforts of His Excellency for raising the price of groundnut from 28,000 per ton, 35,000 per ton to 38,000 per ton. If you look at in 2022, the price for groundnut was 28,000 per ton, which is $28 per kilo. In 2023, meaning that there is an adjustment of 7,000. In 2023, which was $35,000 per ton, which is $35 per kilo, in which there's also an increment of 3,000 per ton. Now in 2024, it was $38, which is 38,000 per ton. And in 2025, we are hoping and yielding and appealing for the price at least to be increased. Now, if you look at the issue of fertilizer, the same page 9, in which he mentioned, this year my government will distribute rice, groundnut, maize, and beans seeds to farmers to help them boost production. There's already enough fertilizer in the country. If you look at the price of fertilizer as compared to the previous years, in 2022, the price was $2,000. In 2023, it was reduced to $1,150, and in 2024, now it's reduced to $1,100. We are still appealing on behalf of the farmers for further reduction in fertilizer. Because if you look at the time in which the farmers used to purchase these fertilizers, at that time will meet the farmers in a very critical condition. They will be looking for what to eat at that time rather than trying to purchase or looking for fertilizer. Now you looked at education, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, if you look at education, the President made mention of numerous classrooms that are built by MRC Holland, and other stakeholders or supporters or donor agents. As far as education is concerned and yearning for development is concerned, the life and the livelihood of the teachers must be looked at and put into due consideration. It is very disheartening sometimes. There are certain areas, if you go there and look at the life and the condition of the teachers, it is very hard. And other teachers also are in very far distances, especially far to reach areas or hard to reach areas that they call it sometimes, in which I feel we need to give due consideration as the Honorable Member for Upper Fulladu mentioned. Lower Fulladu, we don't need salary increment. What we need is salary restructuring. As long as we did not come and advocate for restructuring our salaries, we will increase the salary today and the tax will also increase as well. So if you look at it, 95% of what we are increasing will even go back to tax. Now, the other issue is under the Ministry of Trade, Industry, Regional Integration and Employment, in which he made mention in his speech in giving a consideration and reduction on food items, especially the cost of rice. 95% of the compound heads are getting sick, they are getting tired. Sometimes the Njai Kundankas even decided to run away from their families because of the price for rice. But thank God, at least it is mentioned in the SoNA address that that issue will soon be addressed. Honorable Speaker, under the same thread also, where they made mention of foreign exchange. If you look at this foreign exchange, especially the use of CFA in our country, if you look at the use of CFA in our country, it is not in any sense controlled. You will go to this particular area, the price is $575. You go to another area, they will say it's $580. Others will even tell you it's $600. I guess we must come with a mechanism of controlling the foreign currency in our country. Because there is no way that we can use our dalasi in Senegal. Even the closest village in Senegal, you go there with your dalasi, you cannot use it. There's nothing that you can do with it. And if you look at the CFA, it's even in the heart, in the capital of this country. I think there is a need for us to put up mechanisms, to put up plans in order to solve that particular problem. Honorable Speaker, on that note, I thank you for giving me the floor.
Thank you very much, Honorable Member for Nyani. And I invite the Honorable Member for Lower Salu.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker, for giving me the floor. Let me also join my colleagues and thank the Office of the Clerk for the draft agenda that was scheduled for this SoNA. And in the same vein, also thank His Excellency President Adama Barrow for fulfilling his mandate, Section 77(2). Honorable Speaker, this SoNA this year is in an advanced stage. It's what we expect from the executives to give, to furnish the President on issues that affect the citizens. Honorable Speaker, I also join my colleagues to debate on this SoNA. I will start on the Ministry of Agriculture. Honorable Speaker, yes, members, especially the member for Nyani, talked about the fertilizers issue. Honorable Speaker, much is spent on fertilizer, or subsidizing a bag of fertilizers in our country. Basically, just to remedy the situation of the farmers, which we are all yearning for. But Honorable Speaker, the level of our farmers, the minister is here and he is technocrat, to adequate inform if I am wrong on the statistics that I'm going to give. A bag of fertilizer, a ton of 1 metric tons of fertilizers. The statistics that I get, they said $50,000 for a ton of fertilizer. If that happen, means a bag is from the government side, is something from $1,350. A farmer to get access to a bag of fertilizer. Means a bag of fertilizer then will cost $1,150 from the farmer. Yes, though the ministry, they are doing their quota to get easy access to the fertilizer by the farmer. That cannot give a depth to the rainy season. But there is a company here, and a citizen company, there's Eco Soil, that are producing organic fertilizers. I think Honorable Minister is here. Why not we engage those companies? There's this Eco Soil that now produce organic fertilizers. Because now, by a hectare of peanuts, if you to apply these fertilizers, the ratio is 6 to a hectare, or 7 to a hectare. And at the end of the day, the impact on the fertilizer that we normally import, that we are going to consume, because we know, again, that the way it manufactures. Why not we go away, not particularly going outside the this fertilizer that we normally, but we introduce again to the farmers the organic fertilizer that was produced for our country. That will also boost the productions of our farmers. But every year round, we apply the same fertilizers. Sometimes, for last year, we have a good rainy season because I'm a farmer. But why not we introduce the organic fertilizer also to the farmers? That will also help, to boost the productions of and again, what we are going to consume. Because you can see, the 60% of our Gambians, or 40%, are all sick. Not because of we are not healthy, but what we consume. I think we need to look at on those issues also. Honorable Minister, let's go for organic fertilizers. I think that will help our farmers. Honorable Speaker, on this speak of the President, he talked about something sensitive on me, that which I am 100%, make an evidence on this. That was approved by the Parliament disciplinary. That was about this body of. Honorable Speaker, that's page 16. In collaboration with the Ministry of Finance, and the country secured a $50 million trade financial facility from BADI to support the importation of essential goods, commodities, and fuel. The facility is to facilitate continuous availability, affordable of the commodities. Honorable Speaker, yes, we are National Assembly members, And this is the heart of the citizens. We cannot pass laws or loans or grants to the country without not doing the due diligence. Honorable Speaker, the Badia agreement is with me here. The preamble, where either the borrower is requested the Badia to provide revolving trade facilities of an amount exceeding 50 million. Henceforward, it serves as a facility to be used exclusively and finance importation of petroleum products, food and other essential goods for Africa and Arabic countries. Honorable Speaker, I want to make my argument here. There is an interview that was made both the Ministry of Trade and the particular person, the company, that will be in this loan facility. Honorable Speaker, we are informed by the Finance Minister said the government of the Gambia are the facilitators. They are not guarantors. But the agreement that we approved says the government of the Gambia are the guarantors, are the borrowers. And the reason why we approved at that particular time, the both sides of the parliament, because we are running a situation where the food, the goods of food and commodities, we are rising. There's no price control. We thought it wise, if this agreement comes into effect, it will remedy the situation. But in my surprise, the company that won this thing divert the entire fund to other business, which was not intended to pass in Parliament. I think, Honorable Speaker, we've been the oversight function of this executive. We need to look at on this issue. Yes, we have no problem. He's a citizen. But the way and the manner this facility was approved in Parliament to remedy a situation at that particular time. Because then the cost of fuel now is $81.97. A bag of rice now is $2,350, $2,250. And this particular agreement, loan, came to remedy that situation. Honorable Speaker, why the Parliament?
Thank you very much, Honorable Member for Lower Salu. Honorable members, this debate, I will not give any honorable member 1 second. Time yourself better to move in between. I want to avoid giving extra times. I now invite the honorable member for Illiasa.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker, for giving me the floor. Honorable Speaker, let me first recognize the presence of the Vice President and Cabinet Ministers who are present here today. Honorable Speaker, the President's speech highlighted opportunities and the challenges that we are realizing in the country today. Honorable Speaker, in general, the President's speech is a good one. So, Honorable Speaker, agriculture. The President highlighted an increase in the crop production, and this is very true. Last year, farmers realized a bumper harvest. in agriculture. And then all this is due to government intervention. Government intervened by giving farmers enough and quality fertilizers and affordable price as well. This is why last year there was a bumper harvest. And then I think this year also, the government is ready. As stated by the president, the government is ready to supply or distribute seeds like groundnut, maize, beans, and so on to farmers. And already we have enough fertilizers in the country, and the distribution is currently going on in all the regions in the Gambia. This is what is expected of the government. What is expected of the government, that's what they are doing. So this year also, we expect there will be a bumper harvest as far as production is concerned. Honorable Speaker, the government again is ready to help farmers by providing 180 tractors to farmers. This will definitely boost production in the agriculture. This is welcome. It's a very welcoming news, and then we are definitely happy about it. Honorable Speaker, the government is paving way for us, especially farmers, to go back to the land, and we try and grow what we eat. Because we are always crying the high price of rice, oil, and other commodities in the country. But the only thing that can save us is to go back to the land. The Gambia, we are fortunate. We have very good land that we can grow rice, enough rice, that will serve us. But this, I don't think we are doing that. So here, the reason why government is spending heavily on agriculture is paving way for us to go back to the land and grow what we eat. If that is so, I think that the problem of this high price of rice will be over. Honorable Speaker, fisheries. If you look at this sector, majority of fishermen in this country are foreigners. And the government is ready to invest heavily on this sector. So it will be better for the youth of this country to try by all means to do something as far as this sector is concerned, to try and involve themselves in fishing, because it is very profitable if we really know what is in it. So we cannot just keep on leaving foreigners to come here and do fishing in our rivers, and we are buying fish at a very high price. This cannot continue. So the government is ready to spend heavily, and then the government is ready to build or construct 20 boats. So definitely the youth sector should try and venture into this sector so that we can reduce illegal migration. Because the aim and objective of the government of investing in this sector is to reduce illegal migration. And that in doing so, I think we should try and do all what we can to venture into this sector as well. Honorable Speaker, in general, definitely the president's speech was a very good one. And then I think the Gambians should give thanks and praises to the Almighty Allah for giving us a person like Adama Barrow. The president is humble. Thank you. The president is humble, and he is development-oriented. He is down to earth. He has the interests of the country at heart. So definitely we should give our utmost support to the president so that his aim and objective can be achieved at a shorter time. So, Honorable Speaker, the president created a conducive environment for the people of the Gambia. This is why people like me, we are free to say anything in the country. We are just like when you free a bird from a cave. So, and then, as Gambians, we should be very careful. We should know what is democracy. Democracy doesn't mean that we should use words against each other, foul words. That is not democracy. Democracy means we have to be civilized, we have to know what to do, and to know the way to develop the country. That's all about democracy. But it's not about insulting, using foul words against each other. That is not democracy. Honorable Speaker, I think the president definitely is doing what is expected of him by creating a conducive environment for Gambians. So definitely we are enjoying the democracy that we are, or that we were not enjoying before. I think when we make a comparison here, the First Republic and then the second one, definitely there is a vast difference. There is a vast difference. So let's try by all means and make best use of this democracy that we are enjoying in the country here. Honorable Speaker, thank you very much for giving me the floor.
Thank you very much, Honorable Member for Illiasa. And I invite the Honorable Member for Kiang West.
Sorry. Honorable Speaker, colleague, honorable members, Vice President and Cabinet Ministers, good afternoon. Honorable Speaker, going straight to the subject, that is a discussion on the SoNA that His Excellency has presented on. I want to start this deliberation with the Minister of Fisheries and Water Resources. I saw the minister. I am not sure if he has stepped out. Honorable Speaker, during His Excellency's deliberation, he has talked about 20 fishing boats that were bought and initiated by the Minister of Fisheries, given to beneficiary communities. We want these things to be clear. We want to know the specification of these boats during response. What type of boats are these? And we would like to know the beneficiary communities of these various boats. The amount of fund that has been spent on the preparation and the building of these boats, we would also love to know. What is the amount of fund that has been spent on these 20 boats? We would also like to know if the ministry has done an assessment to assess the impact of these fishing boats on the various communities so that we can try to see if this was a beneficial endeavor or it was just to score a political capital. However, Honorable Speaker, I want Honorable Minister of Fisheries or the Vice President to explain to this August House how Fisheries Development Fund $80 million has been spent. And I would love to be explained with the Minister of Finance if this $80 million has been audited, and if no, why was it not audited? Has it also gone to the Consolidated Revenue Fund when it arrived? $80 million Fisheries Development Fund 2023. We want to know how it has been spent, and we request for an immediate audit for this $80 million Fisheries Development Fund. However, Honorable Speaker, to economic issues that President has talked about, I think there is a lot of revenue that is bypassing the national revenue structure. If you go around Westfield and Bambo, this is a cluster for the black market of foreign exchange. We have a revenue structure that is built, and we have people that are sitting to monitor to ensure that trading, as far as foreign currency is concerned, taxes are levied on institutions that pay tax and establish structures, and this is supposed to go through those structures so that government realizes revenue in this. But anytime you talk about this, minister will tell you, we don't have evidence of this yet. And do you expect us to hold somebody's hand and bring it to Minister of Finance and say, this person is trading in this? It's not possible. But anybody who moves around Westfield and Bambo Serakunda, you know it's a cluster. It's a whole cluster for black market. And if you question, where do they get those currencies? Go and, where do they get access to currencies? Those people that are putting currencies in hundreds of thousands of foreign currencies, where do they access them? We need to question Central Bank about this. We need to question Minister of Finance about this. And we are all giving deaf ear to this. These are some of the things that are killing our economy. And there are people who are putting those bypass revenues to our general revenue structure in their pockets. Because it's not ghost. Honorable Speaker, away from that, I think it's quite important for us to ask questions to the Minister of Interior, security issues, particularly about the drug issues that we are confronted with in our country. Where is the drug coming from? Are our borders not secure? What is the responsibility of the security? Before people abuse, it must have come from somewhere and entered our country. What do the security sector do about that? You cannot wait until it is killing people you want to stop, but it is coming in. How does it get in? If the government does not address that one, we will accuse them of allowing it in the country. It has to be protected from coming in before we protect people from abusing it. It's not possible. We must start from somewhere. Honorable Speaker, coming to Minister of Youth and Sports, during His Excellency's deliberation, he highlighted that the Minister of Youth and Sports has inaugurated numerous mini stadiums. We want to know these mini stadiums and the beneficiary communities. Name us these mini stadiums and where they are. We want to know them. And we want to know that are still ongoing as far as construction is concerned and those that are completed. Honorable Speaker, under security, the President highlighted significant increase in revenue generated by immigration. From 110 million in 2022 to 200 million in 2023. What has changed? What situation has changed? We need to establish whether there was either a revenue suppression or whatsoever that needs to be established. What situation has changed that leads to this significant increase of revenue? You need to explain to us that. You cannot just tell us there has been a significant increase and what, because we need to know what was not happening before that has changed now and that leads to this significant increase to be able to assess whether there was a revenue suppression, in fact, whether they can generate more than 300 million. So we need to do a holistic study of the process to be able to know what leads to this significant increase. Because this is what you've done in this particular year, and you went marginally, a very significant amount ahead of that. So we need to establish what causes that. Honorable Speaker, I want to go to Minister of Agriculture. Agriculture, we have appropriated funds to buy 180 tractors during budget session. And the promise was to deliver these tractors for this 2024 farming season. What is the state of these tractors? Have you started the procurement process? Has the procurement process in fact concluded? And who are the suppliers? If you have finished procurement, who are the suppliers of these tractors? We would love to know, and whether this farming season, these tractors will be supplied to the various farmers. Honorable Speaker, to the Minister of Environment. Minister of Environment, if you walk through the South Bank Road, Jara, Kiang, and other parts of the country, timber, we are not seeing it being transported. But charcoal and firewood, we are not saying people cannot fetch firewood from the woods, but they are using it as a source of living, as a livelihood activity. That's not possible. This is why we are losing our forest on a daily basis. And we have laws that is there to protect that. We have security, we have police officers, we have forestry officers in various regions and districts. What is happening? And they are seeing it. They cannot tell us they are not seeing it. So I think we need to take a bold step to ensure that we, people execute, implement or apply the laws that, that we appropriate or that are formulated from this parliament. Otherwise, our country is not going anywhere. Honorable Speaker, other than that, finally, I will conclude with Minister of Fisheries still. And water resources. We appropriated $10 million for the drilling of boreholes across the country in the rural communities. You've talked about drilling these boreholes. Give us the beneficiary communities of the boreholes that are finished, the ones that you have drilled but are not being built yet. We want to know these beneficiaries. So that this August Assembly, the committee responsible for that, when we go around, we can use that checklist you've given us to see if you have implemented this and the status of those things and its benefits on those various communities. We would definitely love to have that one. Ministry, coming to policy reforms and other things. It is high time for you to do a civil service audit. We need to do a serious audit to see our civil service structure. The number of people that are receiving salaries, whether we have ghost workers among, people don't need to be redundant in the system. And we suspect that is happening. So give us, and we request that you do a thorough civil service audit, both at the independent institution, starting from Parliament.
Thank you very much, Honorable Member for Kiang West. I now invite the Honorable Member for Sabach Sanjal.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker, for giving me the floor. First of all, I will want to join my honorable colleagues to participate in this important debate. But before going any further, Honorable Speaker, I just want to remind us that the President, in fulfillment of Section 77, which I will want to read so that we would understand the scope in which we have to debate. I think it's important. The President shall at least once in each year attend a sitting of the National Assembly and address a session on the condition of the Gambia, the policies of the government, and the administration of the state. This is why we are here today. You don't expect the President to tell you that I have allocated $50 million to build health centers. Now you want him to tell you that in that health center, we will buy paracetamol, we will buy injections, we will buy this, we will buy that. That is not what we are expecting from here. We have to understand the reason why we are here. If you want the President to tell you all these things, you have other ways of getting these answers from them. You have other methods of getting these answers from the ministries. You want to get the specific of a particular boat that was bought?
how it was procured, the amount that was spent, the supplier. If you want to get those things, you have other ways of getting it. Those are not specifics that the president will address in the State of the Nation address. We have to understand this. You expect the president to address on policies of governance, on administration. This is what you expect from the State of the Nation address. Sometimes we need to understand these issues. It's very important. Honorable Speaker, I will want to come to the Ministry of Transport, Works and Infrastructure. It's a very important ministry. And the president has made mention that the transport sector contributes significantly to the economy of this land. The Gambia Ports Authority, for instance, recorded revenue collection of $1,563 million in 2023, representing a 2% increase over the $1,534 million. And this is what they are spending on road infrastructure. So this is telling you that the funds, the local government funding, the revenue that we are mobilizing, this is what we are using. This is what the government of today is using to spend on our roads, instead of what going on loans, lending, which will be to the detriment of our own grandchildren. So you see, they are focusing on the future. They are not only limited to what they are having now. So they are trying to generate revenue through what? Revenue, resource-based mobilization, to make sure that they have enough resources to build on roads and to develop our infrastructure. And if that happens, what happens? The economy will grow. I think that is very key and very important. You go to trade, industry, trade and regional whatsoever, trade, industry, regional integration and employment. And he said recent measures to mitigate external shocks thus include stabilizing prices and ensuring the availability of essential food commodities. Furthermore, we are now giving priority to vessels carrying essential goods to avoid undue charges, and we provide subsidies for flour and fuel. Now, I have been saying this, transportation is very key and very important. So if government is subsidizing fuel, you know what that means? It means the transport of that particular goods from Banjul to the rural areas, to Basik, to Parafeni, the transport costs will be what? Cheaper. And if transport costs on basic food commodities are cheap, that means the basic food commodities will be cheaper. I think that is a step in the right direction. Sometimes it is good to criticize government, but when you criticize based on facts. You criticize based on merit, because your criticism should have a great impact on the what? Economical growth of this country. And it's very important. And that is why the government of the Gambia, in collaboration with the National Assembly, I can say, we approve $50 million US dollars. And that is what the president is saying here in his State of the Nation address. He said, in collaboration with the Ministry of Finance, the country secured a $50 million to do what? Trade finance facility from Badia to support the importation of essential food commodities and fuel. So it means this $50 million, the government of the Gambia has taken it as a loan to help our businessmen in the country, to make sure that, because what they always complain of is having foreign money to go and import these goods, because they cannot take our local currency, which is the Gambian dollar, to European countries, to other countries where they have to import these basic commodities. And that is why the government has taken this step to take this loan on their behalf, so that when they give in this foreign money, they will be able to have enough foreign currency to import these local goods, these basic commodities. But my problem with this is, which I said when we were approving this, is it going to the right people? Is it going to the right businessmen? This was my question. Because if we take this loan on behalf of businessmen and you attach some conditions which will deter our local businessmen from getting access to this, the purpose is defeated. And that is what has happened. You have attached certain conditions to make sure that only one individual will qualify to get access to that loan. That means you are not encouraging diversification. It should have been left open for all our local businessmen to have easy access to get this funding so that they can import oil, they can import rice, they can import basic commodities to make sure that we have the basic commodities, the prices on basic commodities at a very cheaper price so that it will be affordable to the low-income earners. Imagine if government is taking these steps. I think those that are implementing should be held to account. They have to make sure, because intention and realities are two different things. The intention you had in approving this 50 million, the intention has been defeated. So these are certain things that we need to look at. Honorable Speaker, when it comes to Ministry of Digital Economy, as alluded to by the Honorable Member for Lower Flood West, this is a ministry that the Gambia should be supporting. We are incubating this ministry. It is in a very, very crucial stage. And if we make sure that we empower this ministry, we will make sure that we have what we call digital resource mobilization systems in the country. And that will enhance and boost our economy. We should start looking at these things. I understand there are certain infightings. We understand we are in the system. People will be fighting you when you are doing the right thing. But we are here as National Assembly members to make sure that the affairs of our people are defended. And we will make sure that whatever it takes, as stated by the President in his State of the Nation address, in his conclusion he said, there is no turning back and no slowing down for us. We are development oriented and consciously guided by the plight, needs and aspirations of the Gambian citizens from whom we derive our legitimacy. This is very important. Every National Assembly member, every member of the civil service, public servant, we all have to understand that this nation belongs to us. Whether you are part of the ruling government, whether you are not, whether you are independent, whether you are an opposition, this nation belongs to us. And we will not allow anybody to set this nation on fire. We will make sure that we protect the lives of our citizens. We will make sure that whatever it needs to be done is done and at the right time, at the right moment. And I think whenever we are doing things, we have to put this at the back of our mind, that when we came in here, we all took oath of office, and also ministers. Let's have this at the back of our mind. We owe responsibility to the society. We owe responsibility to our own people. So whatever it takes to make sure that we do the right thing, let us continue doing it. Honorable Speaker, coming to national security. The President in his statement says, in 2022, 1,002 traffic cases were registered, with 922 registered in 2023. The decline is linked to increased police vigilance and community policing strategies. This is very important. At least you have learned from your mistakes. You've learned from your loopholes. And then you see how best you can increase here and there to make sure that we have a better security. The issue of
Thank you very much, Honorable Member for Sabach Sanjal. I now invite the Honorable Member for Fonyi Kansala.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. I thank the Vice President for ably representing the President, and I also say Assalamu alaikum to all members for a successful Hajj that the Vice and us and other honorable members have entered to the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. Honorable Speaker, please allow me a minute to thank the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia through the King of Saudi Arabia, King Salman, for heavily sponsoring my trip to the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. I pray to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to widen the scope of the Muslim Ummah and the entire country at large. Honorable Speaker, I also pray to all members who are present here for Allah to persuade them to perform Hajj next year, inshallah Rabbi. And this is the greatest success as the fifth pillar of Islam as Muslims. I salute you all, and I also encore your prayers to best water this country and all those Hajji who are perform Hajj for a successful Hajj, inshallah. Honorable Speaker, therefore I also salute the President for ably fulfilling a constitutional mandate. As he said in various ministries and departments, successive trials that they've went through. Honorable Speaker, I move on to defense and security. I believe that there will be no nation that will be a nation of fully protected without security. And I want to tax the defense minister that there are bills that are featured in this assembly. A bill called TACOS is still lingering around from the Ministry of Finance to Defense Ministry to Judiciary. I don't know where is it actually. And I believe any nation could move without augmenting the security and the enumeration of securities. I've seen the National Security Bill, so National Security Council Bill is already in place. But it is 5 years today, TACOS is still lingering. What is the problem? Vice President, I want you to help us. Where is this bill hanging? Why is it hanging? And why is still not in these chambers? We want to know. Because this is where securities will also have their upright eyes to see, and changes will also begin in the security apparatus. Honorable Speaker, in Interior, we've learned as Immigration Department that a 2 million was registered in 2023. And now looking at the third part of it, about 104 in 2022. This is not a surprise. I think the government needs to be very serious in this angle. Our last visit, we told Bundung alone, a month of collection, $2 million to $3 million, Bundung alone. Serekunda, 2 to 3 million monthly collection. So now, if we have such institutions that could be able to avail and give us financial aspects, why are we not empowering this? And the saddest of all is this, Honorable Speaker, to the Vice President. The immigration officers in Bundung Kakunda and Serekunda will use private vehicles to go and do collections, private vehicles. Now, if they're not empowered, this is why you see the drop of financial losses. So I think we have passed that age. If we backward a formidable task force like immigration in collections of our money without putting the right foot in, it will be a challenge. So I put this to the Minister of Interior to have a look onto immigration and find a befitting solution in this current situation. Honorable Speaker, in digital economy, we've talked about ID card, and I know we have issues in our national ID card. You go to a Canifin, they'll give you 1 month, 2 months. It's still a challenge. And it's an allege that we've had that the current predicament of ID card has been issued to a Ghanaian company. Honorable Vice President, we want you to avail us if that is the case. If not, let's look at inwards. We have software developers that will be able to control and take ownership of our ID card system in the country. Rather, outsourcing and giving to other companies outside. What is the problem with us? So I think we should graduate with some of those issues now. So without which you now wait to your own national ID card is a challenge. And the problem is your data is outside. You don't have access to certain privileges of your data. It's all controlled. Whatever you want to do, they'll now tell you, okay, wait, we'll give you this, we'll give you this. So I think we have to graduate from this. If issues of Simlex is history, let's look inwards and make sure we make a check on this. And the issue of Gamtel, Gamcel, I think it's high time for us to look at. And I could add this. Let's be very careful with our national assets. national assets are as important as our security. Technology, you outsource, give it out. Other issues, you give it out, it becomes a challenge. And tomorrow, it will haunt us. There are other countries like Rwanda that had did it. Today, they suffer. Before, they had changed to fit their own issues. It's a challenge. So either looking partly, privatization of Gamcel, and selling out Gamcel, to who? And which of the companies? And what benefit do we have? These are all issues that I think the Minister of Digital Economy, through the Vice President, should also notice. Honorable Speaker, in the issue of education, we all know that Minister of Basic and Secondary Education, tertiary and higher education, is on reforms, university, MDI, the GTTIs, and whatever. But the biggest challenge that they have is funding. The President has alluded in his speech that he has given a lot of scholarships. But you realize that the problem that MDI or GTTI or UTG is facing, give scholarship, but paying those scholarships is a problem. So we want you to take us through or put us that what is wrong with the Minister of Finance in alleviating monies to those respective scholarships. If UTG has no money, you just give a paper and a course scholarship to people. After paying, it becomes a problem. I think I could remember last year, over 100 and something million, both GTTI and UTG had an arrears in terms of scholarship. So I believe these are all issues that could also help the institution and make it better for its growth. And again, TVET education is also key. But the problem that we are facing is TVET education, for example, Demban is up running. I disagree with the speech of the President. I think he is not much informed. Kanilai is still stagnant. No water, underdevelopment. Some of the issues that are supposed to do is not there. So there is no learning going in Kanilai. It's only in Demban that is ongoing. So I want to make that correction. So I also ask people who are giving information to the President will also be able to avail and make it fair and true. And I also put this, that they've also talked about SIG for enterprise, whatever. SIG for basic and secondary is a challenge. Instead of coming with a new one, why can they augment and see a change in the current SIG trial that is going in schools? Honorable Speaker, finally, I may last my part into the Ministry of Gender. Thank God the President has alluded and also put record states in issues of the ministry, and also the transformation agenda of laws, and also issues that are part and parcel in the Ministry of Gender. Number 7, if I may put through, it says, Honorable Speaker, note it's a private member bill to repeal the Women's Amendment Act 2015, currently on the way, under review by the legislative, while awaiting the outcome. Government remains committed to enforce the prohibition of FGM. I want to help the writers. We need to be sincere in what we put in the papers. The bill before us is called Prohibition of Female Circumcision. And I want to inform the Ministry of Gender and the President that in the Gambia, we circumcise, but we don't mutilate. Therefore, we are guided by the laws of this country. Section 32 says, right of culture. Every person shall entitled to enjoy, practice, profess, maintain, and promote any culture, language, or tradition, or religion. Section 25C1 says, right to religion. Every person shall have the right to freedom of
Honorable member, when your time is up, you please take your care. Thank you, Honorable Member for Fonyi Kansala. I now invite the Honorable Member for Bakau.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker, for giving me the floor. I thank each and every one
of attending the National Assembly sessions. Honorable Speaker, having gone through the SoNA of the President, I have made some few observations of which I would want to share my thoughts with honorable members. Honorable Speaker, I'll start with communication and digital economy. Paragraph 8 of the statement. With your permission, I'll read. To reposition GAMTEL and GAMCEL to achieve the target set by national broadcast strategy and policy, the World Bank has agreed to support this transition to allow private sector participation in management and operation of GAMTEL through a special purpose vehicle partnership and outright sale of GAMTEL. Cabinet has accepted this public-private partnership arrangement and will appoint a transaction advisor to assist the government during the transaction process. Honorable Speaker, the language has made it very clear to us that GAMTEL and GAMCEL is about to be privatized or in the verge of privatization to a company unknown to the public. Honorable Speaker, through you, I want to advise the Honorable Minister, being the head of the institution, for him to go back to the drawing board and seek advice from either genuine Gambians to see how best they can rescind their decision when it comes to privatization of GAMTEL and GAMCEL. This might be a dangerous decision taken by the government. Sometimes when we talk as opposition members, the government may think we are just opposition members. They will keep talking to one another and keep saying, don't listen to them. But Honorable Minister, as opposition members, we are in a position to give you advices that are bad for the government and bad for the citizens of the country. So on that note, I'll advise you to go back to your drawing board and see how best you can rescind this decision taken by the cabinet. Having said that, Honorable Speaker, on health, the President has highlighted in his statement that 5 state-of-the-art health facilities was inaugurated nationwide and have indicated some of the beneficiaries. This is wonderful. This is welcoming to the country. And I'm sure each and every National Assembly member would like such a facility to be available in your constituency. But Honorable Speaker, my worry is, will there be any sufficient drugs in these state-of-the-art health facilities? Because we have experienced going to the health facilities where drugs are always a problem. You will receive prescription from doctors advising patients to go to the nearest pharmacies to get drugs. So this is a concern to me that I'm putting to the Honorable Vice President to see how best there will be availabilities of drugs in these health facilities. Having said that, Honorable Speaker, the President talked about security, and I'm very much aware that this was the best advice he received from the outgoing President, the outgoing former President, President Jammeh. This is the best advice that he got from him, that for him to take care of his security and not to joke with the security of the nation. But to my understanding, I believe this government is neglecting that advice. because we are experiencing armed robberies. Each and every day, people are being attacked in the street. Citizens are being attacked in their bedrooms. So if these are the issues, if these are the experiences that Gambians are experiencing, who is safe in the country? Honorable members, I have been talking about security issues in most of our adjournment debate, asking questions, who is safe, honorable members? Are we safe as citizens in this country? No. If the answer is no, then Honorable Vice President, please take note of that. Having said that, Honorable Speaker, I am made to understand that there is a bill that is before the National Assembly called the Women Amendment Bill that is yet to be finalized by the Assembly. But according to the President, the government has shown their position in that bill. So I'll express my disappointment when it comes to that issue. Honorable Speaker, I believe the President should have been abstained from that issue till the finalization is done by the Honorable August body. On that few observations, I believe, Honorable Speaker, I'll take my seat. I thank you for giving me the floor. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Honorable Member for Bakau. I now Thank you very much, Honorable Member for Bakau. I now invite the Honorable Member for Upper Fulladu West.
Thank you so much, Honorable Speaker, for giving me the opportunity to take on the floor. Well, first of all, I think I would first of all thank the Vice President and then the Cabinet Ministers in presence and my colleague National Assembly members here, and also the media. I am also thanking them and all those who are present to witness to this debate in these chambers. I think the speech that was delivered by the President last weekend, I think the President spoke on a lot of issues, but I'm just going to be very, very brief and then be precise. Hence, most of my colleague members have spoken areas that I want to highlight. But notwithstanding, let's just look at the legal and judicial matters. If you look at the legal and judicial matters, the President spoke on certain issues which are very, very important. We all know that the TRRC was set up in this country. After the conclusion of the TRRC, still there are people in this country who believes that the government of the Gambia do not want to take the recommendation of the TRRC into consideration. I think his speech sent a signal to the general public that the government of the Gambia, they are very, very committed and they are very, very serious, and all the recommendations that were set up by the TRRC, the recommendations, the government of the Gambia is going to work on the recommendations. Because in this parliament, a lot of bills have been passed in this parliament. The anti-corruption bill was passed in this parliament. The Victims Reparation Act, which is to provide reparation to victims of human rights violations. We all know during the former regime, a lot of things have happened, human rights violations. So that bill has been passed in this parliament. And also, Honorable Speaker, another piece of legislation is the Commission of Inquiries. We all know the Commission of Inquiries was set up by this government. When the government was setting up this Commission of Inquiries, there was a lot of hullabaloo over that issues. But it has come to light that definitely it was not a witch hunt. These are things that were happening in our institutions. And then Gambians can believe that setting up of this Commission of Inquiries was in the right step. Honorable Speaker, the Ministry of Justice is acting on the TRRC recommendation, particularly through the drafting of the Special Accountability Mechanism Bill. That bill has been passed in Parliament, and also Special Prosecutor's Office Bill also is passed in Parliament. And also, if you look at the establishment of Special Criminal Division of the High Court, which was stated by the President that the government of the Gambia is setting up a hybrid court in collaboration with ECOWAS in order to try those perpetrators who were alleged of a violation of human rights. So I think all these things happen, and then the President has stated all these things. These things are very, very important. And also, we go back to agriculture. As you all know, Honorable Speaker, agriculture is one of the pillar stones of our economy. And then agriculture, there are only 3 components which were highlighted by the President. That is farming, rice production, and also the small ruminant enhancement project. So these are the 3 components as far as agriculture is concerned. We all know the agriculture sector, according to the President in his speech, he said in 2023, government have provided free ploughing services to most of the farmers and heavily subsidized fertilizers. Before, to get fertilizer was a problem in this country, but for the past years, we all know government of the Gambia, they are very, very committed, they are very, very serious. Fertilizers will be in the Gambia 2 months or 3 months before rainy season starts. So therefore, I think we need to applaud the Minister of Agriculture, though the minister is appointed by the President, but he's not working for the President, he's working for Gambians. So therefore, we thank the Minister of Agriculture for taking that important step. And also, if you look at the cereal production, according to the President, which increased by 21%, rice by 27%, and maize 25%, millet 14%, and sorghum 17%. So all these things are positive things as far as agriculture is concerned. We all know the rice that we consume in this country, 85% is imported. So if we embark on rice production, at least the number of rice that is imported outside will be reduced. So this is the target, or this is the plan set by the government in order to minimize rice importation outside. Now, agriculture contributed 24.4% to the GDP, and government spent over $1.5 billion. $1.5 billion is what government spent to buy fertilizers in order to subsidize it to farmers. And then, Honorable Minister and the Vice President present here, there is a concern that I just want to raise, though I know government is doing a good work, and then they are trying to help farmers. But there is something that the saying, how to call it, there is something that is said, like, if you want to give someone fish every day, I think that would not make sense. I think you better teach that person how to fish. It's better than giving that person fish every day. The reason why I am saying this, we all know government of the Gambia, they are subsidizing fuel, they are subsidizing fertilizer. Vice President and Minister of Agriculture, is this sustainable? With the small economy that we have, is this sustainable? Though it's very, very good, but is this sustainable? Because if you look at what government is subsidizing on fuel, it's 1.2 billion annually. And on fertilizer, I don't know the total amount, but it's a huge amount. And then when the trade season comes, farmers, they want government to buy groundnuts at a very, 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 very good price. Year before last, the ton for groundnut was 28,000. Last year was 32,000, and this past season was 35,000 or 36,000. So, and 38,000. And then the farmers in this country, come 2024-2025 season, whether government is aware or not, farmers will be expecting nothing less than 40 or above 40,000. So, and then, yet still, government is subsidizing fertilizers. They are subsidizing fuel. Is this sustainable? And then Gambia is the only country in the world, like if you look at whereby this fertilizer subsidization is taking place in the sub-region. Gambia is the only country doing. So therefore, I think we have to give tap on their back as far as the good work that government of the Gambia is doing. This shows that how committed the government of the Gambia. They are very, very committed in order to address the problem of the farmers. And also, the number of, how to call it, the government was able to possess 36,659 metric tons of fertilizers, which shows how committed and serious the government is trying to address the issues of agriculture. In 2022, only 10,000 metric tons of groundnut was possessed in 2022, only 10,000. And in 2023-2024, rise to 36,000. So that shows you that the government of the Gambia is very, very committed. And then in 2025 season, government has planned to cultivate 5,000 hectares of land for rice. And then as far as rice cultivation is concerned, we all know in Parliament here last year, what we budgeted for agriculture was around $800 million. But a local person who is sitting down here, when you say 800 million, is huge. But in agriculture, as far as rice production is concerned, is very, 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 very small. So as a country, agriculture, health, education, these are very, very important components as far as development of this country is concerned. So what I will ask my colleague honorable members, when it's come for budget session, let us try to look at the agricultural sector, because like the number of, the total number of rice that we are importing outside, if we want to reuse it, obviously we have to invest more on agriculture. The Honorable Speaker, in education, in 2021, over 34,384 was enrolled over the past 3 academic years, and enrollment increases in 2022 to
Thank you very much, Honorable Member for Upper Fulladu West. And I invite the Honorable Member for Sami.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker, for giving me the floor. Honorable Speaker, I want to thank His Excellency, the President, for fulfilling his constitutional mandate to update the people on his administration performance during 2023 with focus on government policies, program, legislative frameworks, and plans for the future. Honorable Speaker, I want to thank the Vice President for stepping in for the President for him to answer issues raised by honorable members with regard to the SoNA. And also want to thank the cabinet ministers here present. Honorable Speaker, I want to start with education. It's the key to success. It's the key to success. All doctors, all technicians, they pass through education. They must have better education. That's why I always start with education. Honorable Speaker, when we look at the report, we know that the MRC Holland Foundation, World Bank, and other UN agencies, they have done a lot to our education sector. But notwithstanding, there are still issues that we should not keep quiet on those issues We have to say it because we are people's representatives and we are in touch with our communities. Still now, you go to some schools, Honorable Speaker, you realize that there are not enough structures. And some schools, you see that even quotas is a problem for some schools. So, and those things have to be highlighted so that government can do something. Honorable Speaker, but what I realize this year's report in regard to education, they have put everything together. Instead of they separate basic and secondary education from higher education, they put everything together. I think they should separate them. They should not make it one report. That make the reading very difficult. They should be separated alone. Honorable Speaker, in the report, higher education, research and science, we are told that Ndemba Skill Training Center is ready and can live. But, Honorable Speaker, there was a time, and if you look at the whole region, they have skill training center, except CRR not. But they have laid the foundation stone at Wasu. We would like to know the level of that skill training center. Because that is very, very important. That's going to change the life of the people in CRR North, particularly our youths. We would like to know the level of that. Honorable Speaker, agriculture. Agriculture is the backbone, we used to say. But, Honorable Speaker, you see, agriculture is crops and animals. It's crops and animals. And I was looking at the report. Anytime I'm addressing agriculture, I look at whether the welfare of animals are taken care or not. And there is nothing about animals in the report. There is nothing. I don't see, they only talk about, crops. And they must not forget about the livestock sector. About the drinking ponds, you go to certain areas, still now, drinking ponds is an issue in those areas. Honorable Speaker, from there I go to fisheries and water resources. We are not saying that government did not do anything in terms of providing safe and clean drinking water for the people. They have done a lot. But still now, when you go to our rural areas, you still see, just 2 weeks back, all of you have seen a video. Somebody went to my constituency and started putting picture and say, look at this where the MP is from. That person thought that he is tarnishing my character. He is tarnishing the government. That look at what people are drinking from. My role as a National Assembly member is to address the needs of my people. And I have been doing that, and I will continue to do that. The Honorable Minister for Water Resources is a witness. I always put it to him. The areas that lack safe and clean drinking water. And that's what I can stop. But if somebody go out and say, yeah, he's tarnishing the government, not me. Honorable Speaker, if you look at the report, Honorable Speaker, you look at the report, page 35, that's about women. The famous bill, that's about Women Amendment Bill. We are on contracts, Honorable Speaker. As a National Assembly member, you are on contract. If you do well, you will come back. If you don't do well, you will not come back. You have to address the needs of your people. If your people say they don't want this, who are you? Or who is to tell you that, yes, accept this? Okay, it's left to you now. That's why I stop. The bill will come back. What I want to say, I will say. But you are on contract. Do justice. Honorable Speaker, transport, works and infrastructure. We have seen in the report what happened 2 months back, it has never happened. Banjul Bara, for how many days? No ferry service. But thank God, they say they have now a new ferry. But they should not forget about Bansam Ferry. They should not forget about Bansam Ferry. For colonial days, those people are pulling. They are pulling. Still now, you want our people still now to be pulling. What plans do you have for that area? For that ferry at Bansam? Because that also, Honorable Speaker, you know, anytime I talk about that ferry, it reminds me of the health center, the main hospital at CRR. Look at CRR North. Why is the main hospital there? This is why the government should take it need urgently for CRR North to have a hospital. Look at this crisscrossing. You know, you have to look at the needs before you go and build other areas. You have to look at this area. No, they say they have built hospital or other areas. Yes, I'm just trying to tell them that, yes, they should consider CRR North from Wellingara up to there. If you want to go to Bansan, you reach to Janjambure, you cannot cross. You go to Bansan, you cannot cross.
Honorable Member, from Wellingara to up to there. Where?
Up to Sami. From Wellingara up to Sami. Honorable Speaker, there is no hospital. Government, and I always reiterate this, and I will continue to say it, Honorable Speaker. So I think they should try to look at that. And Honorable Speaker, land dispute is very, very common in this country, particularly CRR and URR. I think the minister is not here, but I think he should try to at least call the chiefs. Always call them. You will not wait until problems come and you want to solve it. Before people have problems, you have to sensitize them, talk to them, so that where there are problems, you can easily solve. So thank you very much, Honorable Speaker, for giving me the floor.
Thank you very much, Honorable Member for Sami. I now call upon the Honorable Member for Brikama South.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. May I seize this opportunity to thank the President for fulfilling his constitutional mandate. And by extension, I want to especially thank His Excellency, the Vice President, and the Cabinet Minister here in Pression. The document before us is the State of the Nation address that was presented to us by the President. First, I have some areas of concern that I want to put to the attention of the Honorable, His Excellency, the Vice President. I want to start with agriculture. The Honorable Minister here is present. I want to believe that already this is appropriated for 130 tractors, and we are already in the rainy season. Farming have started at the greater part of the country. People start seeding, cultivating. I just want to inquire from the Vice President at what stage are the procurement process of these tractors are. Are they already procured? Because we need to understand, due to the erratic nature of our rainfall, we are now moving in a direction whereby we go in for crops that are maturable in a shorter period, like 3 months, 2 months, some weeks, 2 months, some days, so that we can meet the timeline. Because if we are not prepared to procure these tractors on time, it's really going to affect the production. And going forward, Honorable Speaker, I also want to talk about the issue of transport, Ministry of Transport, Work and Infrastructure. The report captured about a construction of 365-kilometer road. Honorable Vice President, I want to believe that this will capture Brikama and the surrounding. It was unfortunate in the 2022 appropriation, it was budgeted for us to have constructed the Kabafita Bafuloto up to Mandinari Road. This has been already approved in the 2022 budget, and the President made a pronouncement during the Meet the People tour where he made it emphatically clear that road is going to be constructed, and we are in 2024. Up till today, this has not been constructed. So I want to believe that this 365 kilometers will capture this area. And the other one, the former Minister for Works, I personally went with his team, including himself, the Burkama Jida up to Tubakuta Road. That place design has been out, they did all the studies, and up till today that is also lacking. So I urge him if this 365 can capture these two areas. Moving forward, Honorable Minister, when you come to the trade ministry, Honorable Speaker, when you come to the trade ministry, I want to single out the issue of the trade financing project of 50 million US dollars that has been unanimously agreed by this parliament in order to help. This is a very important one. I want to believe that government, yes, cannot do trading, they cannot do business like private sector, but that is why they have assets that have been established, the state-owned enterprises. The GGC are here and they can do it. Even the cabinet already approved for the recapitalization of GGC. And until today, that has not been done. To an extent that the GGC has to go to a commercial bank to borrow money in order to bring in food items, in order to knock down about the price hike that has been affecting the country. And without their intervention, this could be a problem. And where they are paying Ajib Bank about 150 million only on interest. Had it been this 50 million is given to them, that would really help them. Already the cabinet has made a position to recapitalize it. And up till today, we have engaged various ministries, including the finance minister, over this issue. These are assets of the state that need to be protected. Government cannot go out and do business, but you have already created this thing. And one of the fundamental mandate of this bill to provide a qualitative service for the Gambian citizen to acquire those services at affordable price. So if you go and give it to a private individual, we are killing our own private sector. And I know there should be a competition, but we need to jealously guide these assets. They are important, they are there. And with all the struggle they are confronted with, they still constitute 50% of the GDP. We have to look at those things. And it's very, very important for us to look at it and try to fast track the issue of recapitalization of GGC. But they went into the market. What they have exhausted it. The government chipped in to make sure they procure those groundnuts. But unfortunately, still people are in the field that they are unable to buy their groundnuts because it's already finished. So that is very, very important for the government because the groundnut that are procured is going to be market outside. We get foreign exchange. This can help us. Honorable Speaker, I'm also looking at the area of the land ministry. This is very, very important. If you look at the president's statement, this is it's crystal clear there that they are working on the land policy is at formulation stage, which, to my surprise, it has been delayed for quite some time. Since 2017, we've been talking about the issue of land policy. You can imagine the number of estate developers in this country. that are seriously encroaching into our agricultural land and even industrial land. We talked about the issue of cadastral mapping. That will help the digital economy to work on digitalizing our own resources and revenue. These are very, very important, but up to today, and almost all the crises here are land-related crises. In my constituency, currently, the Busura and Talokoto land crisis is still in progress. We have reported to the ministry, and we did everything humanly possible. In fact, last time, there was a fracas whereby some people sustained injuries. They were hospitalized in Burkama. I have to go and talk. We went to the governor, and a lot of commissions, the commissions have been done in order to resolve this thing. It was a court case, and the verdict was out. They are still insisting. The president talked about manual, but you have a lot to do. When you go to the extreme end of Burkama South, we have a very serious issue, especially when you come to the Sami area. And this is between us and the neighboring country, where those contentious areas is currently remaining as a buffer. Nobody can use it, but because we knew very well these were our farmlands which we need to resolve. And that is why I sent in a lot of parliamentary questions in respect to the demarcation in that particular area. So the land policy is long overdue. I vividly remember in 2022, we even wanted to put in something in order to start this. But these are issues that is directly affecting the life and livelihood of the government. We cannot wait dollars to come in. We look at what we have, we look at the resource envelope. How much can we chip in and make sure that this is done? So it's something like I want to emphasize. Your Excellency, how best can we take it up from that end to make sure that this policy is out and regulate issues? Because all over the country, there are land-related crises. Yes, Honorable Speaker, if you look at page 18 on the trade industry and regional integration, on the 15 point, likewise, we have signed a bilateral agreement with Saudi Arabia and UAE to facilitate a secured and transparent employment opportunity for the youth.
Thank you, member for Brikama South. I now
Mosul.
Give the floor to the member for Janjambure. Who is that?
Mosul.
Who is that? Losala.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. I rise Order 53, motion with notice to suspend the assembly for prayers.
Motion with notice.
Can I take the floor?
Senate, please, you are writing on which order?
Without notice. Yes.
What?
53.
53 what?
I'm coming. That was the process. Motion which may be without notice. That 53K, a motion agreed by the Speaker to be a matter of urgency. Yes.
And
but
what is your motion?
We will suspend decision for prayers on lunch.
You know, I remember one day Speaker made a ruling here that once he talked about prayer, he will pray for prayer because it can't be between him and God. I also found myself in such a situation, but I have never agreed to a motion because I never knew whether you were going to table a motion or not. If it was otherwise, I was going to refuse it in accordance with 53K. But nonetheless, I think most members have gone out and they have prayed. But because I wanted us to proceed up to probably 3 we break for lunch. But now that there is a motion, any second. The member Kebalang Fofana.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. I raise the second motion.
It has been moved and seconded that we suspend this proceeding for prayer break for an unlunch for 40 minutes. Or 30 minutes. What is the time? Those in favor, please say aye. Those not in favor, please say no. The noes have it.
No, order.
Please, order. Order, please. There was a motion and we voted. I requested those in favor, nobody.
No, Honorable Speaker.
And I said the noes have it.
Speaker.
No, please. You either call for division or not. Yes. No. Division, let's vote. Those in favor of the motion, please raise your hands. 30 minutes. Those in favor of the motion, please raise your hands.
The time is not.
No, don't use your mic. All right, 40 minutes. Those in favor, please raise your hands.
40 minutes is fine, yeah.
40 minutes. Those not in favor, please raise your hands. Those not in favor, please raise your hands. Those abstaining, raise your hands. The results are as follows. Ayes 29, no 0, abstention 2. So the ayes have it. What is the time? Now we now is 2:36. So by 3:17, we should be back. 3:17. The House is suspended until 3:17. At 40 minutes. Those in favor, please raise your hands.
40 minutes is fine, yeah.